Last time on Missing Stars! Our hero, Eric Wilhelm, was mocked by Fran for using girly shampoo, witnessed bullies harassing Natalia until Katja dispersed them like a fucking boss, attended a study session with Jean and Isolde in the library, and declined further tutoring. Our story picks up as Eric and Anna finish a lighthearted conversation before class, leaving Eric to wonder if they'll ever speak to each other normally, as opposed to using text messages.
I take the lead. Luckily, it seems as though we haven't missed any of the actual class, and nobody seems to care much about two people entering the classroom just 2 minutes after the bell. Anna still seems nervous about it, though, scampering to her desk, clearly hoping not to be noticed. It's a mannerism I already recognize in her. She takes a seat, as do I, though we're separated by a few rows of desks, just as Mrs. Karan, it's Karen, no! Greets the class. I surreptitiously slide my phone back out of my pocket, using it one-handed under the lip of my desk. By the way, is there a word for the back of the head? Takes just a few seconds to get a reply. Yeah, occiput, I think. Why? I was just wondering. It doesn't occur to me that until much later in the day that I could have just searched the web for this. My phone buzzes again. You have a nice house. Okay, Annalise just shot from, number, 5 or 6 to number freaking 3 on my list. Oh my god. She's amazing. This game is great. Thank you, that might be the greatest compliment I've ever received. No thank you, I get to look at it for this whole list. I look up and wonder for how long the teacher has been staring daggers at me, and stealthily slide my phone back into my pocket. This seems to be enough for Mrs. Karan, who turns back to the board and begins the lesson proper. As the teacher starts introducing today's topic, something about how heart rate is controlled, my mind is elsewhere. Primarily, my thoughts are on how unexpectedly open Annalise has been today. It certainly wasn't expected, and quite a change from the last time we spoke. See, we're getting so much of Annalise and Katja. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, Annalise is definitely shot near the top of my list.
It's all I was expecting, and quite a change from the last time we spoke.
I guess it was just as easy as getting a phone number. Now that I think about it, that's not something that's generally considered to be easy, is it? I guess in this case it has a different meaning attached. It was totally necessary for communication, after all. The teacher's voice swims briefly into my consciousness. External factors such as perceived threat can increase myogenic stimulation of the heart. I wonder if any external factors stimulated the change I've seen in Anna. Is that a weird thing to wonder? A little bit, I decide. Probably shouldn't tell anyone about how much I'm thinking about this. My mind quietens. Sounds like a dessert. I focus on the lesson. Fuck you, Coaster! You betray me! At the end of the lesson, as I'm standing to pack my books, I feel a presence behind me and I turn on the spot. Annalise, unsurprisingly, had approached me wordlessly. She thrust a piece of paper into my hand, reminded me somewhat of our first encounter. On it, her fairly distinctive, slightly spider-like handwriting is a numbered list of I'm not sure what. Random words and phrases as far as I can tell. She looks at me expectantly, one eyebrow raised. Clearly this is supposed to mean something to me. That's about as much as I can come up with. Oh! It hits me as I recognize one of the items a little way down the list. Albums! The corners of Anna's mouth twitch in what I recognize to be about as close as she gets, most of the time, to a smile. I take another look at the list. Do I have to listen to all of these? Anna looks mock offended. She takes out her phone. You don't have to. If you don't want to develop at least passable taste in music, then that's your lookout. I like her a lot. I actually have no opinion at all. Uh-huh, sure. She looks smug and thankfully is clearly joking. They're good albums, though, and if you feel like listening to that many full albums, I put the best track from each underneath. Look. When I look up, she taps the paper, pointing out the second phrases in brackets after each album title. That's handy. I doubt I'd get through all these albums anytime soon. Anna emits not audible humph. I try not to let my surprise show. Any animosity, playful or otherwise, clearly melts away almost immediately, though. I grin. I'll get through them. Which should I do tonight? What's good for studying, too? Anna takes the list, scanning through it briefly, then hands it back to me enthusiastically, pointing out an item about halfway down. God damn it, now I want to go back and do that choice better, because I actually kind of like her now. It's really chill, and it'll get your mind going. Perfect for focus without being too intrusive, you know? That sounds perfect. I'll put that on for 2 tracks before swapping back to the same 3 videos I watch on loop instead. Another small humph, this time with crossed arms to match, is the reply with which I'm blessed. I'm kidding. Then something unexpected happens. Anna reaches out and punches me playfully. Oh my god! She punches playfully on the arm. Wow! Perhaps ordinarily this would have been totally unworthy of comment, but you know, it's Annalise. She withdraws her arm a little hesitantly, as if unsure of what happened. The corners of her mouth curl again, though. I laugh, and whatever little tension there was is broken. Oh, that's so cool. I am loving this development. Then the voice from behind me puts that tension right back together. You two want to miss next class? Yes. I immediately and disorientedly regain awareness of my surroundings. The classroom is empty aside from us and the teacher. Man, I had no idea I'd zone out so much. No, miss. We were just, setting up a study session. Okay. A study session for music, right? Yes. She looks at us far too knowingly. On your way. I grin back at Anna, whose expression perfectly matches the feeling in my soul. She nods at the door, and we depart. Oh my god, how could there be so many good characters in this fucking game? Looks like we got away with it. As the classroom door closes behind us, the bell rings for the beginning of the next lesson. Shit, at least a few minutes walk away from me. Oh, wow, we're great students. Anna flashes me her subtle smile again. I'm getting to like it. And grabs her phone. Dude, I kind of want to go on her route now. God damn it. We had much more important things to discuss than biology. Hell fucking yeah. Absolutely. I can't remember any of the album names you wrote down now, but I'd try to make a joke about one of them right now if I could. That was pretty meta. Right? Anyway, you don't have English next, do you? She shakes her head. Shame. Okay, I'm going this way. Anna points in the opposite direction. Right. I'll see you later then. I'll let you know what I think of those tracks. You better, bitch. Later. He's actually made a genuine, frequently corresponds with friend with probably the least sociable person in school. That's amazing. She gives me another small, barely a wave and exits, and I head to English class. I still don't know how to feel about communicating with Anna purely via text. It hasn't gotten old yet, which I guess is a good thing, but still, surely it's only a matter of time. It does feel limiting sometimes. I can't stop the intrusive thoughts in my head that are begging me to find out why she's so hesitant to just talk. I mean, the first time we met I could understand. Once again, I'm reminded of multiple people telling me how important it is to be sensitive to other people's ways of living and work here. Fuck you, Logitech. But now, I don't know. She seems pretty comfortable with me. And that little punch, that was sweet. She'll do that, but won't talk? You have no idea how difficult talking is to some people. I shake my head a little, trying to clear these circular thoughts from my mind. It's been a pretty good morning so far. No sense in ruining it with an anxiety if I can avoid it. You know what would be really awesome? The lunch bell finally rings, stopping the teacher's impassioned rant mid-sentence. He rolls his eyes and sighs in defeat, proceeding to quickly dictate tomorrow's homework before marching out into the hall. I feel faintly sorry for him, strangely enough. He was so engrossed in his tedious, convoluted explanation of the nuances of the French language that he practically didn't even take a stop to breathe. That vague feeling of guilt is quickly stilled by the rumbling of my stomach. As if on cue, Fran lifts themselves out of their seat and taps me on the shoulder. Still no curse words. That again. You don't think I'm being serious about that? I don't think you're serious about anything. Fran pouts and puts their hands on their hips in mock anger. That's cold. And speaking of cold, I could really use a nice big glass of orange juice right now. Are you going with me to lunch? Sophia's visiting today. Dude, hell fucking yeah, I'll hang out with Fran. Oh, come on, Eric. Don't pretend like you don't enjoy his company, her company, whatever the fuck. Oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. Using they as a singular pronoun. Gender neutral pronoun. Gender neutral pronouns. Here we go. Why are there so many? X. What the fuck is that? That's an X. Z, Zem, Zir, Zirs, Zemself. Oh my fuck. Okay, this is a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so this seems to be one that's coming up quite a bit. Is Z, Z-I-E. Him, her is Z-I-R, Zir. His, hers is Zirs. Himself, herself is theirself. That's easy enough. That's easy as fuck to memorize. You know what? I'm sure this is going to trigger some people out there, but you know what? I'm going to start using that. Why not? Let's make this a challenge. Satisfied with my response, Z, turn on their heel and wait for me at the doorway. I head over to them and then head out into the hall. I need more fucking alcohol for this. We join the line before the cafeteria counter without further incident. The place, I notice, isn't any less noisy or animated today. In fact, I think it may have become even a bit rowdier than what I've seen so far. It's hard to make out individual conversations from the din, but I can clearly pick up the sheer excitement in their voices. Did someone spike everyone's food with killer amounts of caffeine, I wonder? Jeez, everyone's really pumped already. Small wonder that. I did hear the schools try to top last year's Dankfest. Let's call it Dankfest. I did hear the schools trying to top last year's Dankfest. Works out perfectly. The student council press is already running around the school, hauling loads of paperwork and supervising the preparations. Is that Ella? She's such a cutie, isn't she? I meant, yep, of course it's Ella. I meant Ella. I definitely hit it. You jealous? I love Fran! Haha, playing hard to get now, eh? Anywho, you've probably heard about the school festival, right? It'll be on the next weekend, so you can't blame them for being antsy and excited. Especially the ones who are aiming to score. Are you aiming to score? I mean, I'm not going to confirm or deny that. What the hell are you talking about? They just wink for it. Just wink for an answer. Ultimately, neither expecting nor wanting them to elaborate. I'll just keep my mouth shut as we move up the line for our food. Zer. Yeah, it's so intuitive. The ordeal soon passes, thus we make our way to our usual spot. True enough, the twins are already there, chatting in what must be Russian. Noticing us, they both smile and nod in acknowledgement. Hey there, Eric, Fran. Are they really twins, though? Because I can pick out at least 2 features in which they're different on. I could just be completely missing a lot. Anyway. Hello, Sophia's here today. I noticed, yeah. Hello, you two. We sit across from them, and the two resume talking, or at the very least, it's just Natalia talking in her overzealous, overly energetic voice with Sophia just smiling and interjecting on occasion. Hi, ladies. What are you talking about? Dude, this is one smooth motherfucker. Honestly, I think Fran's my favorite character. Oh, no, I was simply telling Sophia I passed my latest quiz this morning. Awesome! Yeah, because she was having trouble with studying and stuff. Heard you asked her something, Eric? I wasn't a lot, really. Congratulations, Congratulations, Natalia. Oh my god, this playthrough has gone to shit so fast. Thank you. It was rough, but I did it anyway. It feels great. I just hope you keep that up after this. Good going indeed. With that said, a fox-like smile forms on Fran's face. Oh, something funny is going to come up. What are you planning now? Well, this is perfect, isn't this? Is Fran going to get us all drunk? That would be amazing. This calls for a celebration. With an exaggerated flourish, Fran fishes out a crumpled up flyer from their pocket and lays it down on the table. I warily take it and give it a cursory read. An advertisement for some new business, I see. He totally wants to get us drunk. Awesome! Sylvester's Saloon? What's, a club, obviously, genius. You guys don't mind drinking a bit, do you? I've only dropped by this place once with a girlfriend, so now's as good a time as any to check it out again. Hell fucking yeah. I mean, Fran's maybe it's not the worst person you could wake up next to after being drunk. Ooh, a club? I've never been to a club. Sure, let's go there then. Sophia, let's go. I should have expected Natalia wouldn't take a lot of work to be convinced. Determined look on her face tells me she's ready to whisk us all there at first, faintest sign of consensus. Sophia's eyes widen in pleasant surprise, but she quickly hides it by crossing her arms and glaring at Fran disapprovingly. Oh, come on, Sophia! Be a pal! Niet! No way! As Natalia's sister, it is not good if I allow Natalia to go around visiting shady establishments like this. They've got good vodka there. I'm sold! You, Eric? Fuck yes! That was too easy! Yeah! Totally! Of course he's going, fuck yes I am! Unless, of course, Eric's too square to be going out for drinks with 3 dazzling beauties at his side. Dude, I'm so in. I'm so fucking in.
Come on, Eric. Don't be a fucking buzzkill.
A reply forms at the tip of my tongue, but I don't let it slip. No, go with him. Go with him. Fucking go with him. I didn't even fucking save. I just said, yeah! It's going to help you decide. I want to know that Tasha has told me about yesterday's events. What? Oh, that, of course. Miss Katja said you called her in yesterday when I was being cornered by those girls, so I have to thank you for that, at least. Katja said that? Maybe she just doesn't want me to look bad in front of Natalia, but it's still pretty hard to imagine her covering for me for something like that. I mean, I did want to get backup. I mean, I wanted to get Lena in on it because Lena looks like she could fucking take out like a frickin' warship by herself. I shrugged off the thought. No use thinking about it now. No, don't worry about it. It's the least I could do. A Russian always pays her debts. Natalia slaps her hand on the desk to emphasize her point. Did she just pick up that line from a TV show? Nonetheless, she looks very serious about the offer. There's no way a school like St. D's would just let us waltz out of the school premises to go for drinks in town without facing harsh consequences afterwards. Especially not with someone shady like Fran. If the guards or anyone from the student government catch us, we're sure to get very caustic and formal reprimands from the faculty. I might even get expelled. Amazing feat for someone only 5 days in. My parents catch wind of it and cut my allowance. Now we're talking horrible. On the other hand, I really don't want a disappointed Natalia on my conscience. Dude, I just want to fucking hang out with Fran, okay? Without thinking, I go for the rational choice. Well then, if you insist, I guess. Fran claps me on the back at this, probably overjoyed that a rule-abiding student such as myself has succumbed to her ways. Their ways. There we go. Attaboy. Thank you very much. You know what, I'm just going to continue reading Eric's, inner thoughts as it's written because that's how he perceives the world. Thank you very much, Eric. At a loss for words, I simply smile back at her and we return to our meals. With nothing else left to say, I do the same and we pass the lunch period in relative quiet, save for small bits of idle chatter. We soon finish, and the bell rings not long after. Fran straightens up and dramatically pats their belly in satisfaction. Well, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, but we have got to be going immediately. I'm to be having remedial classes with Mr. Kruenberg this afternoon. See you this evening then, Fran. Eric? Yeah, sure. I'll text you guys the details. Sure thing. See ya. You too, Eric? Bye, Eric. With a brief nod to me, the twins head out of the cafeteria. I wish Fran had a route. I would just be fascinated to see how that would even progress. Well then, let's get going, darling. Mr. Oshner is not going to be waiting for us. Yep, coming. I just hope I won't end up embarrassing myself tonight. Limit yourself to... Usually by drink 4, I'm to the point where I start embarrassing myself. 5 drinks is the point where I start to get hangovers. So limit yourself to 3. No, I don't like this one bit. Nah, not quite. Just a little more... Maybe a little more to the left. The right? Just a bit, and... Crap, I ruined it. What the fuck are you talking about? 4:47 p.m. A slew of new text messages is already accumulating on my phone, all coming from Fran, as I expected. The agreement we had was to meet at 5 p.m. at the place she chose for us, and I would have been there already if my hair didn't decide to be stubborn as all hell. Okay. You're still going, right? God damn it, why would you just cooperate with me, for Christ's sake? Groaning in frustration, I set my coma sign, simply sweep the offending forelocks to the side and accept defeat. I pull on my coat, fuss with the collar a bit, and head out. Sweeping my room with one final cursory glance, I lock it and descend the flight of stairs to the common room and out of the building. As I step out into the open, I notice the school grounds are positively abuzz with activity, in stark contrast with the bitingly chilly evening air. Small flocks of students and teachers alike are walking, running, scurrying to and fro, franticness written all over them, some of their faces practically hidden behind the stacks of paperwork. Some of them are huddled in little circles on the ground, working on kiosks or painting their massive, colorful banners, or handing out flyers to passerbys. Fran wasn't joking when they said that the school is busy and excited. Everyone, for all the exhaustion clearly evident on their form, looks very happy. The loud, sudden beeping of my phone shatters my reverie before I can sink too deep into it. Fishing out my phone, I am greeted by Fran's name in large, conspicuous letters on the screen. Hello? Hey, love, what's taking you so long? We've been waiting for 45 minutes already. Jesus! Oh, sorry, I got held up. Held up? By whom? Don't tell me you spent over an hour fussing with your hair. What a princess. What? Hell no, I wasn't. Don't worry, Eric. Whatever your hair looks like, you're still beautiful to me. Listen, I'm sorry. Tell the girls I'll be over there very, very soon. Okay, just make sure you're not chickening out, darling. Even after agreeing to them earlier this afternoon, I'm still feeling the urge to do exactly that. Come on, man. With the sound of a loud parting kiss, they hang up, slide my phone back into my coat pocket. Fran's number one. Number one waifu, and husbando at the same time. I try to shake off the numbness on my leg, to no avail, and I hobble toward the front entrance, trying to be as casual and natural as I can force myself to be. It takes me less than 5 minutes to reach our designated meeting place, a small convenience store a short distance from the school, at the quiet corner of a street. Meanwhile, it takes me less than a second to spot the flax-colored hair of two very familiar Russian girls. Fran notices me in turn and waves me over with an airy grin. I nod and walk towards them. Sure took your time, darling. Yeah, sorry about that. Well, at least you didn't back out. I was around 80% sure you would. I did entertain the idea all the way, if that counts. Natalia looks at me, her eyes widening in horror. Eric, that's not manly. No, not manly at all. That shall not do. Okay, I'm starting to like Natalia too. Huh? Whatever you do, you need to do it with conviction, Eric. No room for doubt. Not an inch. Always conviction. She jabs at my test with her forefinger, her brows furrowed, desperate to get her point, whatever the hell it is, across. You should be convicted. Okay. That's not the right word in this context, Natasha. Natalia fails to hide a self-satisfied smile. I know, it is a joke. They just had fucking crickets. Fran, crickets. Sophia, crickets. After a while, Fran chuckles to himself, then shrugs and stands up from their seat. Well then, since we finished our comedy skit with little Natalia, shall we get a move on? At this, Natalia relents, and the twins straighten up. You guys really sure this will be okay? Eric, living without risk is not truly living. That was said by the Arist Hotel. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, and I'm pretty sure you meant Aristotle. But I read that on the internet. What? You cannot just go on and like lie on the internet, can you? Can you? I decided not to give Natalia the satisfaction of getting me to respond to that. We end up hailing a cab to the city. By the time we got there, it was already dark, but looking around, I think the place more than made up for it. Bright, alive, and pulsing with energy. Oh my god, we're going to a fucking nightclub with Fran. This is like a fucking dream come true. It's a different part of the city than where my sisters live. It's a lot more beautiful and vivacious, though cities like this often do look like that at night. The streets were flooded with colorful neon lights and massive electronic billboards, the air electrified with a raging motley inferno of music, sounds of vehicles and people talking. It's not that Basil hasn't got its share of clubs, but the sheer over-the-top liveliness of the place definitely makes nightlife back home feel drab and oppressively quiet. It's just a short walk from here on, if I remember the location correctly. If not, well, there's always the other clubs to check out. You guys all trust your Uncle Fran, don't you? Not at all. Uncle or aunt? Uncle? Natalia, uncle? Fran just giggles in amusement at the confused look on Natalia's face and takes the lead with a wide grin. Having no other recourse, we just nod and follow them. Eventually, Fran lights up as they spot our place in the distance. I didn't have to look hard for it. The neon sign screaming Sylvester Stallone in hot red letters had just about the subtlety of a burning, speeding truck on the Autobahn. Despite my earlier misgivings, I can't help feeling a bit excited, but I do my best to hide it. The twins, meanwhile, aren't even bothering with doing so. Fran smiles in approval. Of course he would. She would. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, let's party hard tonight. Hell fucking yes. Oh, fuck. God damn it. This is literally the worst person that could have caught me. Oh, is that you, Eric? Fuck! Fran rolls around in a panic, their face drained of color as they recognize the voice. True enough, Ella is walking up to us carrying heavy-looking bags full of what looks to be cans of paint and other materials. Behind her, I notice Irene hobbling with her own load. Hello, fancy meeting you all here. Where are you guys going? Sorry, pointless question, I have a good idea, but this is just for politeness. Of course, Irene. Well, we're dead. Of all the people who could catch us red-handed, it's them. A sense of impending doom looms over me as I try my best to avoid Ella's eyes, while Fran's gaze flits around as I try to conjure a plausible excuse in vain. Oh, hey there, Prez. Well, you were just sightseeing? Ella glances over our shoulders. As she quickly pieces together what our destination is, she sighs, rolls her eyes, and looks at me with a grim stare. We do encourage making friends at school wherever and whenever possible, Eric, but it will do you a world of good to just be a little more picky. Ella slowly but meaningfully glances towards Fran. Especially where Fran is. What are you talking about? Fran is best girl, boy, both lady boy, man girl, what the fuck ever. The school hasn't forgotten about the July 4th incident. What the fuck? What? I want to hear about the July 4th. Oh, come on, Prez. That one was an accident. I couldn't have foreseen the bear. The what? The bears? All I'm saying is that I'm sure there's a better use of your Friday evening than spending it in seedy, suspicious bars like this, especially for new students like you. Otherwise, it will surely reflect very poorly on your behavior as a student. Her voice never sheds its soft, measured quality throughout, like a mother scolding her naughty little children. Somehow, it only makes me feel a whole lot guiltier. Sorry. Well, actually, Miss President. All heads turn to Natalia as she suddenly steps forward, her hands stiffly raised in the air, her eyes suddenly aflame with conviction. So apparently, Fran, released bears during the 4th of July? What the fuck? Even Ella's calm demeanor cracks for a bit at her sudden interjection. Yes, Natalia? Actually, we're not going to the bar or anything. You got it wrong. You just had the wrong assumption. Oh my god. I love you, but shut the fuck up. There it is, the dreaded singular second of silence. Like a lioness about to pounce on her prey, her unwaveringly intense eyes are now locked upon Ella and Irene. Having seen this scene more times than I would have liked this week, I mentally braced myself. I can't. I fucking can't. A Pironius assumption. What the? Words forsake Ella and Irene as they stare back at Natalia. Eyes wide as saucers, as if their very minds can't figure out where to start comprehending her joke, and just shrug it out as a defense mechanism. It is a joke that plays on the word beer and irony. Yes, okay. I think we all got it, Natalia. Thank you. So, Miss President, Natalia's all right. We're not going to the bar. Well. An epiphany strikes Sophia, and she snaps her fingers as she glances at Ella. My apartment. Right, that's it. It's near here. Bought a new video game, and I wanted these guys to check it out there. It's just a coincidence that, well... Ella smiles, but it's obvious from her slightly raised eyebrow that she's not buying our bullshit story. But Sophia, you got wine back at your apartment? Because if so, we can still make this a party. Not that I'd blame her for it. Over these past few days, I've realized that where Fran's involved, it's best to assume the worst case scenario. Oh, I know the one. 2 stories between a cafe and a flower shop. Rhododendrons on the front? How did you... There are so many good characters in this game. Oh my god. I love Irene. I love Irene so much. Research. You know what? I won't even contest that answer. Come to think of it, we're going to pass that place with the tram we'll be taking. Want to join us? That actually sounds like a good idea. It'll put my mind at ease if we're all going together. Shall we get going then? We might miss the U-Bahn if we dally too much. Damn. I mean, yeah, let's get going. Ella doesn't look any more satisfied with the answer, but she drops the subject and beckons us to follow. Dude, Sophia, seriously, do you have wine? 3 bottles will do. No, there's 4. 4 bottles will do. 5 bottles will do. That's perfectly enough. I lean back onto the wall beside Fran, who's looking supremely upset, muttering unflattering remarks about Ella and Irene under her breath. I can't help but feel relieved that— oh, fuck you, Eric! I parted with Ella, receiving nothing but a bunch of stern warnings. There are over 100 ways it could have gone worse, I suppose. Damn it, we would have gotten away with it too. Hey, why don't we take the tram back to the place, guys? There's no way we'd get caught twice in a row. Let's not. Oh man. As long as they have at least 6 bottles of wine, then things can still turn out okay. I noticed Sophia rubbing her forehead as she worked on the door locks to her apartment. Her face pale as a sheet, her stance wobbling unsteadily as she stood. Hey, are you alright, Sophia? Yes, mostly. Feeling a bit carsick. The locks finally click and the door opens in greeting. Sophia fumbles for the light switch. Come in, guys. Feel at home. You have to excuse the messiness. I'm forgetting to clean it lately. She says that, but wherever my eyes land around the room, I'm met with nothing less than perfect immaculacy. She's like the complete opposite of Natalia. The tiled floor sparkles like a polished gem. Throw pillows meticulously arranged on beautiful, ornately patterned sofas. They are suffused with a gentle, flowery fragrance. Frankly, it looks like something straight out of a lifestyle magazine. I wonder why people with homes like this are the ones who always apologize for the messiness. Fran, Natalia, and I take a seat on one of the couches, while Sophia excuses herself for a short bathroom break. Wow, would you look at this? Sophia's so awesome, it's like back home. She's very diligent about cleaning, you know. Yeah, I'll definitely give her that. Hey Tasha, can you help me here? I'm making food. Oh, okay sis. I shall be right back, Eric, Fran. Natalia excuses herself and flounces on her way back to the kitchen, leaving me and Fran alone. Damn, she definitely makes this place look like a hotel suite. And here I thought rich girls knew precisely squat about homemaking. You learn new things every day.
Fran, not French curse words, sadly.
God fucking damn it. Not French curse words, sadly. Well, we can't have it all. Soon enough, a delicious smell wafts from the kitchen. The siblings are humming tunes as they work, punctuated by laughter and conversing in Russian. It doesn't take them long before the two glide out of the kitchen, Sophia and Natalia each carrying a steaming tray full of food, and in Natalia's case, bottles of assorted condiments. The two set it on the table and call out to us both, untying their aprons. You know what? I've had such a good fucking time with this. I am going to save my game. I'm going to start recording again, because I don't want to lose this fucking footage. I've had such a good time with this. This has been the most fun part of this entire thing. And it's all thanks to best girl, guy, whatever, Fran. Favorite character of this game. #1 waifu / husbando / whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit.